You wake up Monday morning, the alarm goes off, and for just 1 second, before your brain fully kicks in, you feel it. That heavy, sinking feeling in your chest. Because you already know exactly how this day is going to go. You are going to trade your time for money. Again, just like yesterday, just like last week, just like last year. And somewhere deep inside, there is this quiet voice that keeps asking the same question. Is this really it? That feeling is not weakness. That feeling is your gut telling you something is wrong with the equation you have been handed your entire life. Here is the brutal truth that nobody talks about at the dinner table. When you only earn money while you are working, you are one bad week, one unexpected bill, one health scare away from financial catastrophe. And that is not living. That is surviving on a treadmill that never stops. But what if money could show up while you sleep? Not as some fantasy, not as a lottery ticket, as a real structured system that runs whether you are at the grocery store, sitting on your couch, or spending a Saturday morning with people you actually love. That is exactly what this video is about. And before we go any further, I want you to know there are related programs linked down below in the video description. People who have already started this journey are seeing results that used to feel impossible, and those resources are not going to be sitting there waiting forever. So if something in this video resonates with you, do not walk away without checking what is down there. The window is genuinely smaller than you think. Now, let us talk about your real life for a second. You are probably working harder than you ever have. Maybe you have been doing it for years. And yet, when you sit down and look at your bank account, there is this persistent gap between where you are and where you thought you would be by now. That gap is not your fault. You were never taught the difference between active income and passive income. Nobody handed you that blueprint. Active income is what most people live on. You show up, you perform, you get paid. Stop showing up, the money stops. It is a direct trade, your hours for their dollars. And the ceiling on that trade is brutally low because there are only so many hours in a day. Passive income is different at the core level. It is building something once and having it generate returns repeatedly over time, with minimal ongoing effort. Think of it like planting a tree. You do the digging, the watering, the tending early on, but then that tree grows fruit season after season without you having to plant it again. Now here is where people stop me and say, that sounds complicated, or that is not for someone like me. And I want to look you in the eye through this screen and tell you directly. That thought right there is the single most expensive thought you will ever have. Because passive income is not reserved for the already wealthy. It is not locked behind a wall that only certain kinds of people can climb. The strategies that create consistent monthly earnings are more accessible right now than they have ever been in human history. Let me walk you through the most powerful ones in a way that actually makes sense. The first is dividend investing. Companies that have been around for decades pay their shareholders a portion of their profits regularly. You own a piece of the company. The company earns money. You receive a cut of that money. Over time, as you reinvest those dividends, your position compounds. What starts as a small monthly deposit into the right dividend-producing assets can grow into hundreds, then thousands of dollars, arriving in your account every single month without a single extra hour of your labor. The second is digital products. Something you create once can be sold an unlimited number of times. Guides, templates, courses, tools. The creation happens at the beginning. The selling happens automatically through platforms that exist specifically to handle that process for you. People wake up every day to notifications that sales happened while they were sleeping. That is not magic. That is leverage. The third is content monetization. When you document knowledge you already have, platforms reward you for it with ongoing revenue. The video you post today can generate income 3 years from now. The article you write this week can attract readers and revenue indefinitely. This is passive income built from your existing expertise, not from money you already have. The fourth is licensing. If you have a skill, a design, a process, or even a concept, other businesses will pay you repeatedly for the right to use it. Licensing deals create recurring income streams that flow without requiring you to show up every day. The fifth is automated online businesses. E-commerce models that use drop shipping or print-on-demand fulfill orders without you ever touching inventory. Real estate investment trusts let you benefit from property income without being a landlord. Peer-to-peer lending platforms allow your money to work as a lender. Every single one of these can be structured to run in the background of your life. Now here is what this actually looks like in real life. Imagine it is 3 months from now. You have set up even one of these income streams. Maybe it is small at first. Maybe it is $50 a month. Maybe it is $100. But then something happens that has never happened to you before. You earn money on a day you did not work. And that feeling, that specific moment when you realize the system worked without you, changes something permanently inside your brain. Because now you know it is real, and knowing changes everything. 6 months later, that stream has grown. Maybe you've started a second one. The numbers are not life-changing yet, but they are consistent. And consistency is the foundation that everything else is built on. People who understand compounding know that the first results are the smallest results. Time is the multiplier. Now here is something the traditional financial world does not want you to think too hard about. The cost of inaction. Every month you spend only trading time for money, you are not just staying still, you are falling further behind the people who started building passive income 2, 3, 5 years ago. They are not smarter, they are not more talented, they simply started, and time has been working for them ever since. Think about what it would mean to have an extra $500 a month arriving without extra work. That is $6,000 a year. That is a vacation you do not have to put on a credit card. That is an emergency fund that actually exists. That is breathing room. That is the removal of that Monday morning chest feeling. Think about what $1,000 a month looks like. $2,000. Think about what it would feel like to one day open your bank app and realize that your passive income exceeded your living expenses for the first time. That is not a fantasy. That is math applied consistently over time. People are hitting that exact milestone every single day. The difference between them and where you are right now is not intelligence. It is not luck. It is that they got the right information and then they moved. Most people consume content about this, feel inspired for a few hours, and then go back to the treadmill. The ones who actually change their financial reality are the ones who do one thing differently. They take the next step before the inspiration fades. Which brings me to right now, this exact moment. The resources linked in the description below this video exist to give you a structured path forward. Not a vague idea, not motivation without direction, an actual system built by people who have already built what you are trying to build. These are not generic resources sitting on a shelf. People who have taken action on what is down there have changed the trajectory of their financial lives in ways that would have felt impossible before they started. But here is the thing about action. It only counts if you take it. Scrolling past this, telling yourself you will come back to it later, that is exactly what the version of you that never changes does. The version of you watching this right now, the one that felt something at the beginning of this video, that version is capable of something different. Go check what is below this video. Do it before the moment passes. Because the right moment for this is always now, and now has an expiration date.